Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special unboxing video with a difference, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So the reason why this is a bit of a difference, the clue is in the title. So inside here is a figure that I knowingly sold and do actually have seller's regret on it. It is a boxed figure. I'm going to give you some clues in a second to turn it into a bit of a guessing game as normal. But again, I'm sure we've all had this sort of experience. I sold a few figures years ago. I got more regret from them, but that's because I didn't really know what they were. But whereas with this one, I knew what I was doing. And unfortunately, at the time when I sold it, this figure came out in 2020, by the way. So obviously when I got it, pandemic hit full throttle. I was self-employed. And yeah, exactly that. So it hit me really bad. So I had to sell a few of the figures that, to be honest, I didn't really want to. But the other reason I sort of sold it is because I thought it'd be a bit of a standalone figure, which it sort of is, but it isn't. Again, I'll give you some more clues to that in a minute. And I'd done a video on it, etc. And I thought, right, okay, that's it. But then funnily enough, since then, there's been a load of other figures like this that have been released in the similar sort of toy line. Even though this is a standalone version of this particular figure, there's been lots of other figures released like this, but using very different molds depending on the category or the thing that it is based on. So that is loosely a few clues. But yeah, so I had to sell this mid-pandemic just exactly for that reason. But funnily enough, there's another, I suppose, lesson with this. I mean, because the price on this skyrocketed, and there's some still on eBay now at ridiculous prices, but they've been on eBay now for ages at this ridiculous price, whereas this one was at a reasonable price. And I put it in my watch basket, as you do, and then, you know, sometimes you get an offer from a seller where they're just trying to sell it, or they realize that they've had it at a price that's been so crazy and they're not going to get anybody biting on it. So I got sent an offer, and I counter offered it, and we went back and forth, etc. But we basically got to a price which was, to be honest, is pretty much what it cost brand new. But there's also a couple of other things in here as well. So I thought, rather than just get the actual figure, I'll get it as a mini package, which is what this is. So there's more content here for the channel. Now, but the other stuff in here, and this will give you some more clues as to what it is a comic. It did have a mini comic little series regarding it. It also has a graphic novel, which again, I got both of them in here. This is incredibly well wrapped, by the way. It really is. Yep, there it all is there. It's perfect. So right, let's give you some more clues to what it is. So it's from, in fact, if I tell you that straight away, you're going to get it straight away. So let's give you a clue as to the mold. So although the mold, funnily enough, has been used loads of times, this was a retool of a mold that was first used in Siege, and since then we are still getting versions of this mold in different decos. The most recent, I believe, was a shattered glass version of this particular mold of the original owner of the mold. This is completely different though. This is a standalone use of that mold. So more clues is it's not a Sideswipe figure, it's not a Red Alert figure. It's the other one that they use, and as I say, I thought it'd be a standalone, but obviously since then we have had numerous crossovers since then. So I think you've pretty much got it now. So it's one of the first ones, to be fair. Since then, we've obviously had X-Men, we've had the Jurassic Parks, we've had loads. And I again, gutted that I had to let it go. But what I've managed to do with this is I've got one of the comics with it. I know you've probably guessed who it is straight away anyway. And also, it's got the full-on graphic novel. I think that's all the comics put together there as well. So again, more stuff for the channel. And for those of you who've pretty much guessed or who haven't guessed, and I'm going to be opening it up again, even though this is one that wasn't. This is, of course, Gigawatt, which for those of you who didn't know or now do know, it uses the Sideswipe mold. So there we go. Seller's regret, managed to get one back. And I think that's pretty much it with regards to figures that I've sold that I regret. But there you go. Let me know if you got it in the comments. Don't obviously put his name down. Let other people play along. Thanks very much. Take care.